Hello, everyone. Welcome to meeting 5 of Adapted Toys for Children. We have another guest speaker here today, here to teach us more about the electronic side of things and his own personal experience with different toys and his rewiring in that area. But first, our agenda today, we're going to be going through some quick updates. We're going to hand things off to him, and then we will break off into groups. But the presentation will go on for about its usual time. You guys will be able to ask your questions and hopefully learn a little bit more about the technical side of the work that we do and another perspective on the way we could possibly be doing things. And new perspectives are always welcome. So some quick updates. These are mostly pertaining to different groups going on right now. For group 1, virtual toy planning group, we have the bubble machine that was received. Madison got that in the mail last week. So hopefully you guys can get something out of that. This last week, if you're in my group, you know that all the newer toys were handed out this week. Hopefully you guys all got yours home safely, and we'll be working on that in today's meeting. And the next button prototype was printed. I believe it's their second. They ran into their own issues with that, but that's all fine. It's all part of the prototyping process. Just some quick updates on each group. And yeah, so that's all I had to start off with. Real quick update session today. Jeff, can I hand it off to you?
Yes, thank you very much. So my name is, I'm trying to stand near our classroom camera here. So my name is Jeff Wilt, and I'm a professor at Valparaiso University. Valparaiso University is about an hour and a half north of Purdue, and I'm in the electrical and computer engineering department. So what I wanted to do is show you a couple of things that we do that are similar to the goals of Adapted Toys for Children. And then I wanted to talk to you a little bit about how you can analyze buttons and then how you can use a multimeter as a connectivity tool. So that's what we'll be talking about right now. I'm going to switch over to the slides on my computer so that you can see the content there. And I just started I just did a little bit of some slides here. So what I'd like to do is go over again my subjects. Subjects are going to be, we're going to be talking about buttons in general. We're going to be talking about multimeters and how we can use them for connectivity. And then the last is Go Baby Go, which is actually going to be the first thing that we talk about. So those are the topics for today. Now, Go Baby Go was an effort by the mechanical engineering department and the electrical and computer engineering department to adapt a commercially available toy for a very special little boy. So if you see over on the left, this is a commercially available, it's made by Power Wheels, and it's called a Wild Thing. And so you can buy that for your kid and your kid can sit in there, but not every kid can use that. And so we had a little boy named Daniello. Daniello, you can see in the chair there, needed this device adapted for him. And I'll talk a little bit about what we had to do in order to adapt it. But you can see the starting point over on the left, and then you can see the finishing point over on the right. And I wanted to give some credit here. In the back, those are the senior design students who worked on this project. And then here towards the center left is Professor Johnson, and she conceived of the opportunity and also advised the team. So this is Daniello, but I think it is much better to show a video, which I should have set up here. The video can show you him. Oh, I already had it up.
I think you accidentally pressed the button. Yes.
So you can see what he's doing now to drive is that he has to push his arms forward, and there's that foam-covered bar across. Now he's moving it back, and he moves it forward. And of course, that's not how the stock Wild Thing comes. So that control system to move it forward and back had to be modified. Then you can also see we added a car seat. So that whole car seat, of course, Daniello, he's got cystic fibrosis and he's 4 years old, and he wouldn't be able to sit up by himself on the stock Wild Thing. So basically we strapped him into a car seat there. But the back and forth motion of the bar that moves him forward and back, that's really important. You see, because Danilo does not have good upper body strength. He's got weak arms and he's got weak shoulders, and they want to get him to do exercises, right? We want to strengthen his arms, strengthen his shoulders, and he doesn't like the physical therapy all that much, right? But this is a great opportunity by modifying the Wild Thing. We're actually getting him physical therapy because he wants to drive it back and forth and he's all excited about driving it. So at the same time that he gets to have fun driving it, he's also getting exercise for his arms and shoulders. So it was kind of a double duty for him there. So that's the idea of the Wild Thing getting changed into something that a specific child could use. And I have it right here with me. Okay. All right, so this is, well, this isn't the one that we gave to Danilo, but this is basically the Wild Thing, Power Wheels Wild Thing out of the box. So you can see that that's where it comes. And then what is the first thing engineers want to do? I'll take it apart. So you can see then there was a lot of disassembly here and needing to figure out the control system. So this was not the one we delivered, but you can see that, you know, the first step is getting inside, looking at all the wires, figuring out what goes where. Like here's some, oh yeah. So yeah, so this is a motor. Boy, that's a motor and a gearbox actually. So yeah, so that's what this involves, like tearing it apart and saying, oh, what do we got here? Well, it looks like there's a motor here, but this motor has a gigantic gearbox on it. And if we're going to control this ourselves, we're going to have to figure out a way to bypass the existing control system, build our own control system, and then somehow drive this motor forward and back. And then I know this thing does. Okay, this is like a speed control right here. There's more motors. Oh, yeah. So one of the things we had a huge problem with was, yeah, okay, so here's the control board. And, oh, good luck figuring that out. And all of the existing controls came into these ports right here. It's hard to see. Anyway, these existing ports, and we have to backwards engineer them. And like these are relays right here. Got to figure it all out. Lot of figuring out. So with that, yeah, and that was a year-long project for our students, but very satisfying, very rewarding. And man, when you look at the video, you know, it seems like that's a great outcome of all the work that's being done. In any case, that's a Wild Thing itself. I actually have it, and I just wanted to show it to you. All right. So in the basic of probably the scale of what you guys are working on is more like just taking a standard toy and then adapting it. Now, I was listening a little bit beforehand about what you guys have going on, and it sounds like you already have some button work going on. I'm looking forward to learning more about your organization and where you're at. But what I was told is you'd like to learn how to manipulate some buttons. So we're going to talk about buttons and with an overall goal. And that overall goal is, okay, so here's my overhead projector. And I thought as a good introduction, I've got like all these buttons and the technology and different buttons that you might see. But yesterday I went and I bought, so this is, what's his name, Herman? No, Molly? He'll say it here in just.
Hello, kids.
Marvin.
Marvin the monkey, okay? And just like many toys, he's got this thing, and what do you got to do? You got to pinch here. So you got to pinch this, and then he sings. If you pinch this foot, then he says his name, and he makes monkey sounds and so forth, okay? But all that is just basically a button, and all we need to do is just bypass the button for Marvin in order to adapt it. All right, so we'll go back and we'll share the screen. Okay, so that's Enola. And I think you guys are probably working with a lot of different buttons. So on the left, this is the circuit diagram for a push button. And you can see that it kind of implies its functionality. You have a surface here that you would push down on, and then you have terminals. The circles represent the terminals or the leads. And so when this button gets pushed down, it forms an electrical connection. Now the one on the right is a little bit more detailed and a little bit more representative of what would happen in a physical device. You're going to have a spring, and that spring will return the plunger to its up position. And then when you push down, well, really all that's happening is there's a piece of metal touching the two leads and then forming an electrical connection. So that's pretty simple. Now, most buttons have just two, well, many push buttons have just two different leads on them, so they're pretty easy to figure out. Not all of them do. So, okay, we're gonna page up. Okay, so now let's go back and see what is an example of an actual push button. So the push buttons come in many different forms, but I went and got one out of the drawer, and here's a push button, okay? And so you push on it. Now you look on the opposite side, and it has two leads. Two leads. And so that means when I depress and hold this, there's going to be an electrical connection between those two, or we'd say there's no resistance, or we'd call this an open circuit. And when we push it, we'd say there's a closed circuit. So inside, there's a piece of metal touching these two leads together. Well, that's no fun. Let's go ahead and cut away. So with the Dremel tool and a little bit of persistence, we've got a cutaway view of the exact same model. And you see that you've got the leads. You got the leads here, and there's a little disc and then a spring. And so when you push the button, see that disc comes down, and that disc touches, it's hard to tell, but that disc touches both of the leads on here. And so then there's a conduction between the two. So you have closed the circuit, and then when you let it go, there's no electrical connection and so forth, okay? And then same thing happens. There's a lot of different switches. This is called a micro switch. And this has a little arm on it, and it's meant to have a mechanical stop, like on a 3D printer when a trolley goes back and forth and you don't want it to go too far. It hits this, pushes the button, and then you can stop driving the motor. Oh no, what's going on here? Now there's three leads. Now, as a button, that was really easy to understand. It was just two leads. Now this one's got three. And you're like, okay, what's what here? What's going on? Well, I can push the button. And as a matter of fact, this arm, that's just kind of spurious because the button itself is just that little black piece, and that arm is just pushing. You can see that black piece, the arm's just pushing that down. So you wouldn't even need the arm. All right, well, let's cut this one away. And you can see here what's going on. Now, here it becomes really clear what's happening. And we think about this as being like a master lead, and then these being the two leads that it connects to. So if I were to push this, oh, okay, I lost focus there. Oh, there, I'm back. You can see that there's this contacts, and it's switching back and forth between the two. And so if I don't depress it, then I have a conductivity between, there's connectivity between this lead, and then it goes around and is connected to this top. So without depressing it, these two are connected together. But then when I depress it, you can see that this now touches this lead, and these two are electrically connected together. So if you wanted to cut this lead off altogether, then it would just act like the button. So these two leads act just like the button did in our previous example. So it acted just like the button. And what happens? Well, there's a conduction between this, the circuit is closed, and when I push it, it actually opens up. So this is a three lead terminal. And this is not just a regular button, it's got 3 leads. And you say, okay, well, what does that mean? We call these is a normally closed contact, and we would call these a normally open contact. This is kind of like the master contact. And then these two, they work just like a button would, just like the first button. And then this one, it actually opens up the channel when you depress the switch. Okay, so let's go to a multimeter. Sure, I can cut these things open. And if I cut them open with the Dremel tool, I can kind of look and see what are they doing and how are they connected. And this right here is a digital multimeter. They come in a lot of different kinds. But what we're going to use this for is the conductance. And you can see that it's got if you see that almost everything, every multimeter that gives you a conductance indicator has this little icon that says, hey, it makes noise. So I'm going to flip it to here. It's usually the lowest setting for resistance. And now this will give me an audible indicator when I have, when there are a closed circuit, when there's conduction. So you don't really at this point need to even look at the multimeter. So you've got it set right. I've got my plugs in here and I've got my 2 leads. And you know what? All it does is when I touch these 2 together, and are you hearing that? Okay, so I got it right by the microphone. So what this does is just tells me when these are touching, I get an audible indicator. Now, if I didn't have these buttons torn apart, what I could do is I could hold these, if I can hold them. I can hold these together. And think. Okay. And so it's hard to hold these, but okay. And then when I push these together, I should get, and it's just hard to tell. Okay, so that's this one. And then tell you what we're going to do is we're going to add some alligator clips. Now these things are very, very handy. So I've got alligator clips here that allow me to scrunch onto things. And since these leads are so tiny, it's hard for me to touch them. So we've got, okay, so now I've got remember this was the master, okay? And I think we said that this one. So hopefully you can see we've got that on. And remember, when there's conductance between the 2, then we should hear a beep. Okay, so even if we hadn't torn that apart, we would know, okay, those are the 2 terminals that I need. All right, then what about this one? Remember, those were connected until I did push the button. So it's going beep, 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 beep. And then when I press it, then I have non-conductance. So this is a normally closed, because normally it's closed and it's a closed circuit, but I can open it up. And different types of electronics might need a normally open or a normally closed circuit. All right, then we got the buttons. Okay, then there's here's another switch. That's another micro switch. And we might say, oh, okay, well, what's what on this? Sometimes it has it written on the thing. This one doesn't seem like it. But let's say I encounter that in a toy and I want to recreate it with another kind of button. Well, I got to start trying terminals. So I'm going to try these 2 terminals. I'm going to see, okay, nothing, no beeps. And then I hit this, no beeps. Okay, those must be unrelated terminals. Okay, all right. Now I'm going to try these 2. And, okay, that doesn't seem to be anything. And then what about these two terminals here? Let's see. I think I got something loose here. Oh, okay, here's what happened. My auto off on the multimeter. So my multimeter shut off after it has a auto off where it shut off. Okay, so then, okay, so I'm touching them together. Okay, now we'll go back and, okay, so those two, that's a normally open. Okay, let's see if I can find the normally closed. Oh, now that's beeping. Okay, so now we've investigated it. You know, we don't have a data sheet or it's not marked on there, but pretty quickly then we were able to figure out this one. Okay, so we got that one, we got this one, we got this one. All right, here's a toggle switch. Now the toggle switch works just like a button, only it doesn't snap back. It's not momentary. Instead, when you push it to one direction, it stops. So we got this and this. Okay, and if we did the suggestion, then, okay, this one. So it's off and an on. Oh, lots and lots of different buttons. But Marvin's waiting for us. Okay, so Marvin's here, and Marvin's great, only I might have a child that has, that's tough to pinch their fingers, or maybe they don't have enough strength or dexterity. So right now,
let's sing a song. It's called Apples and...
okay, I'm squeezing his paw. Now, if I wanted to reroute that, it's the, what do I do? Well, I could get out a big butcher knife and start stabbing him and tearing the thing apart. But what I did instead was I went through and got a seam ripper, and I followed the existing seam. So there was a seam here, and I followed this existing seam, and sure enough, inside was a button. So there's the button, and if I push that.
Hello, kids. I am Marvin the monkey. Hello, kids. Hello, kids. I am...
So with that.
Hello, kids. Hello, kids.
So all I need to do now is bypass.
Hello, kids.
I keep hitting
I
it.
am Marvin.
Okay, we just need to bypass this. Now, if I look at this, this is a plastic housing. All right, Marvin. The plastic housing.
Hello, kids.
And
I am Marvin the monkey.
if you can see here, it's hard to tell. Oh, I can zoom in. All right. I pulled that off, and all that was a housing for a button. So that's just a button that was placed in there. And as a matter of fact, I brought with me a whole bin of ones just like it. And that's a very commonly found button. Now, one of the problems with those buttons is they got 4 terminals on them. But if we can see this, all we really need to do is tie in right here. And if we were to connect our own button in parallel right there, then we would be able to simulate it. Or if I wanted to, I think this will work. I got a paper clip, and I can be my own.
Hello, kids. I am Marvin the monkey.
And I can stop him. So all it really needs to do is have a piece of metal go across there. As long as I can bridge that Come on, Marvin.
Hello, kids. I am Marvin the monkey. Can you
All right,
make
give it a rest, Marvin. Okay. So then, All right, what I wanted to do tonight, and I saved this, and I don't know if this will work or not, but what we could do, come on, I hope this works. All right, this is going to be tough, but I want to route that. Now, this is the big red button, and I want to route this to the big red button. We're going to see how it goes. So I'm going to try get that there. Try to get that there. Okay, so I tied in, and let's see if I can get, we got to get Marvin in frame here. Okay, so I still, all I've got is I tied those onto that. Let's see if this will work.
Hello, kids.
Oh, yeah.
I am Marvin the monkey.
Okay,
Can you
and
make monkey
I
sounds?
just have to touch those together. So now I'm my own button.
Hello, kids. I am Hello, kids.
All right, that's all we need to do. But the grand finale is going to be, I've got this, which is the big red button. So you say maybe a kid doesn't have a lot of motor skills or whatever, they can probably press that. Ironically, at the bottom of this big red button is actually one of those micro switches, and it's got a light in it. But anyway, right here, those are the two leads, and this should be normally open. So what I'm going to do is,
Hello, kids. I am.
so
Hello, kids. I am. Hello, kids. I am Marvin the monkey. Can you make monkey sounds like me?
see, he dances. I wanted you to see that. Okay, then you go, all right, back. Okay, share screen. What am I doing? All right. Okay, last of all, so we've modified that, and we could put this. What you can do is you can get like a panel mount and a box. Maybe you guys are already doing that. So you get an electrical box. What you do is you put a hole in it. You could put, come on, Marvin.
Hello, kids. I am
Uh-oh.
Marvin the monkey.
So then you could put the button through there. You could have a nice control box. And then for those of you looking a little bit more detailed or a little bit more aggressive, hey, nothing's stopping you from getting something like this. This is an infrared sensor. So this infrared sensor, it's going to take a lot more, more gumption to do this, but you could have an infrared sensor so that the kid just has to wave it in front. And so instead of actually physically putting a button, they could just wave their hand. So that's an idea there too. And then of course, if you were going to modify it the way I showed you here tonight, you'd have like a cord going from the toy to the button pack. But if you wanted to, there are many. It's a remote control relay. I had a couple of them that I was going to bring in. But if you search for a remote control relay, you can get a button that's just remote that gives you kind of like a little remote control, and you can push 1, 2, and 3, and then it will be a wireless way to do all of these things. Trying to get done. And Cooper, back to you.
All right, thank you so much. That was really, really, really good. We have a lot of experience with these types of large switches, and something that a lot of newer members aren't entirely familiar with is how to rewire them, much less how to tell which connections are what. So that's, this was super, super helpful. I'm really glad we got this on recording for newer members as well, or for future members, I mean. But this is really amazing. Thank you so much. Is there anyone, did anyone have any questions to follow this up?
One of the things we really try and focus on is price. So it's nice to know that there's a lot of options out there that aren't super expensive.
Yeah, even those remote control relay things, I looked into them, and it's less than $10. You can get a remote control and a relay together, matched pair for $10, I think.
Okay, well, I guess if no one else has anything, then we could start going into groups then. This was really amazing. Thank you so much, Mr. Will, for coming in and like just going over so many different examples and details regarding this work. This is really amazing. I think we can get a lot of use out of stuff like this. If you'd like to stick around to see one of our groups, you're more than welcome to. I'm just going to share my screen real quick and allow people to kind of rename themselves with their appropriate group number.
I can open the Word document.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
I can open the Word document that we worked on last week.
Okay. I was going to do a quick unboxing of our toy.
Ooh.
I got it in the mail. I haven't opened it yet. I figured I'd save it for the meeting. Make it a surprise.
Yeah.
But then we can open it up and see what the inside looks like and hope it's as simple as the other ones. It comes with a screwdriver. So nice. And bubbles. Alright, here's a little bubble guy.
Oh my gosh, I like that dog. It's cute.
It's really tiny. I wasn't expecting it to be this small. But yeah, very, very tiny button. Comes with a very, very tiny screwdriver.
Fine.
Guess I should have grabbed some batteries to make sure it works.
Can't find that link.
Something else Cooper mentioned that we could do is like finish up the finalizing the instructions from last semester.
Mm.
I think there's like just some loose ends that need to be tied up. So that's something else we could do if we ever hit like a dead end with this, or if we just like finish it up super quick or something like that.
Yeah.
Or we could like prioritize getting that done so we could get it on the website.
That's a good idea too.
So maybe we can like just look at the inside of this today, get an idea, and then next meeting try and just finish up the other Word doc so we can give that to JP so he can upload it to the website. I think the sooner we have stuff up there, the better it'll look. Why are these screws so tight? I'm really excited for a bubble machine.
Yeah, I think it will be fun. And like, who doesn't like bubbles?
Exactly. Did you open up the document that we started last time?
Find it. I don't think I saved it, and since it's over Word and not Drive, I don't know how to access it again. I've been looking for it.
Okay. I'll get this last screw out and then I'll send it to you. I made like a nice header.
Oh, okay, yeah, with like the logo and things.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna like rip my hand open trying to get this freaking screw out. Okay, let me find that document for you if I'm gonna be sitting here forever trying to get this screw out. Okay, you might just have to share this or save this link. If it gives you the option to like open in app or open in browser, open in like the Word app application. So like it allows you to have like all the features because the browser version is limited.
Okay, open in browser, but maybe I can.
I don't know how I'm supposed to get this open. Well, we can't get the toy open today.
At least we got it. You know, progress.
That's true. We can see this much of it.
Beautiful. It's just faceless now.
Yeah.
A little scary, but
It's fine.
yeah.
The one screw just ruined everything.
I added step 1 to open the toy with screwdriver. That is definitely gonna be changed to be way more specific, but you know, you gotta start somewhere.
Yep. Open toy with screwdriver.
I do like the header. Looks good.
Thanks. I want to make this not a terrible link.
Oh, I know how to do the thing where you can change the link header. Oh wait, maybe you know how to do that.
Okay, I can. I just said buy toy here, and then I hyperlinked it. But we can change that to whatever we want later.
I accidentally just did it as well, but we can just delete. I'll just delete mine. I just put Amazon's.
I don't even see yours.
But I accidentally did it under the photo.
Oh, now I see it.
Oh shoot, it's 8:25. Okay. Well, I'll be ready for next week. Hopefully the screwdriver works better then, and we can like go
Yeah,
explore more.
I'll see if one of my roommates has another one. Or I'll grab a different one from Walmart or something. But yeah, then we can open it up, or we can just finish up last semester's instructions, so we can finalize those.
Yeah. Bye.
All right, see ya.
Okay, so you guys should all have your toys about now. Yeah, everyone here showed up this week. JPO, you should still have your toy, right?
Yes, I have mine.
Yes, okay, perfect. So yeah, so pretty much from here on out, I'll probably step in and give some guidance at different points, but this is where we kind of just start working on the toys that we currently have. You guys should all have the tools that I gave you. If you didn't get tools, I believe it was because you said you had something to work with at home. If you don't, that's fine. We can work something out and I can buy some more toolkits, which is all good. But yeah, now is when it goes a lot more just kind of your own thing. You can open up your toys or dismantle it like he was explaining before. Unlike what he did, don't make any permanent changes without letting us know. We don't have any, we only have like 2 cloth toys, but basically don't go tearing into those without letting us know. If you have an idea to make a permanent change, again, let us know. And if you have any questions, I'm here. I'll be working on a couple toys that we've have previously adapted. I'm just gonna be finishing those up. But yeah, now is when things just kind of go your own way. So let me know if you have any questions. And Joe, oh my God, thank you so much for recommending your dad. It was so good.
Of course, he was happy to help out, but he's quite a character if you couldn't tell from that a little bit. But
I'd love to have him as a teacher. He sounds interesting.
yeah, we've had college. We have well, pre-COVID, we had an annual breakfast bash where he'd invite his students over for breakfast, and we had little menus, and they could circle what they'd want, and we'd cook for them. And
that's so cool. Oh, wow. I love that.
I'm trying to get into this.
Mm-hmm.
And I took all the screws out. And then, so like it sort of comes apart. But then I don't think I think the wheels are stopping it.
Okay. Interesting. Can I see a different angle of it?
Yeah, you can. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. It's unlikely I'll be able to figure this out from here, but
Yeah.
you should be able to feel where it's getting caught on.
Yeah.
So like it's definitely the wheels, or
I think it's the wheels because it's like, yeah. Can you? It's not the best angle.
right? No, it's fine.
Like, see the crack? That's on
mhm,
the other side too.
okay.
I can get this top thing off too.
You get the, wait, you can or can't?
I can get this thing off.
Okay. Try to see what that reveals. If you like take off whatever you can, and that might reveal a new section. Because sometimes these things come off in order, like in a certain order.
Okay.
I know the unicorn was like that. A few other toys we've had have been like that.
Okay, so there's it without that thing on.
And that doesn't reveal any new screws or anything? Or like maybe you could get a little more now?
Like,
Hmm.
I was gonna say it could have some snaps in it, maybe.
to get the wheels off?
Possibly.
Is that what I need to do to get the wheels off?
I mean, sometimes it takes some pull, but like you wouldn't have to be a strong person to be able to do it.
To get the wheels off? If they're supposed to?
You can feel
don't
that
wanna
out
break it.
usually. Like, yeah, like, okay. It might take a little bit more force, but it's also possible that there's something else going on.
Okay.
If
Someone
you
else has this toy too, I think.
I started or I got it briefly at the end of last semester, but I didn't have batteries for it, so I didn't take it apart because I wasn't able to figure out the functions of it.
Yeah, I just looked up some videos. I'm not sure a button switch is gonna work anyway because it does move a lot. Like it rolls everywhere.
mhm.
Unless if like he was talking about like the what did he say? Radio something?
Oh, the infrared?
No, like so it would be without a wire.
Oh, so yeah, okay, the or the radio.
Like remote control.
Yeah. RC, yeah.
Yeah.
That could work. I mean, we'd still have to open it up either way. Both those require different wiring. Hold on, sorry, I'm trying to make sure the other officers remember to record.
It's like
Yeah, don't force it. What about that blue part on that back wheel? Is that a screw?
this doesn't really do much.
Okay.
Like
I only ask because sometimes like it's very indirect. Like you're sure you took out everything you can?
all the screws.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see any more.
Hmm.
Could this be something? Can you see it? There's like a little switch thing in the bottom.
That might be something. What does it do? How does it move?
I don't know. I think I need like a pencil to get to it. Maybe it's a button.
That could be like a release switch potentially to open it up.
Okay. I can't tell which way it goes.
Crap. Okay, I need to shoot.
I think it goes down. I pushed it and now I don't know it. I don't know that it did anything. Maybe it did this up. Because I know that this back wheel, like when you get the toy, it's not attached. Like you have to put it on.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe this thing like releases that.
It might.
Doing much.
Hmm. Hold on, give me 1 second. I'm having an issue with
Okay.
having Andre record. Oh, also, when you're opening up your toy, just to everyone, like there's a certain level to where there's no, like you don't need to take apart every single different component. Like some toys have gears, some toys have springs. you don't need to disassemble all of that. There's like, when we say open it up, it's usually just like open up the outer casing or something, just enough to where you can see how the wires are interacting with different buttons. I just want to put that out there too.
Quick thing on that, this whole toy is like split into 2 parts.
That's a special case.
Also, there's some screws that are like set super far back into the toy that I can't
Okay.
unscrew because it's too narrow.
Okay. I think if I'm remembering this right, because you have the blue screwdriver kit with the big bulky ends,
Yeah.
that might be the only. I think that should be the only one with that issue. Is anyone else having that problem with theirs? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Good. 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 Because they all got the standard screwdriver kit. I gave you one because it was what we had left.
That's okay. It's just I can't.
Right. So,
JP, where are you living on campus? Because I have like pretty narrow ones, and I
Oh,
could like
nice.
sanitize and like meet up with you at some point if you wanted to like borrow one or whatever.
Oh yeah, sure. I'm in Honors North, but
Okay. Yeah, I'm in
I
Harrison,
can,
so that's not too far.
I can just message you
South.
if
Sorry,
you want.
that was an interruption. I'm in Honor South.
Oh, nice.
It's not a big deal. I
Maybe
walk by
that's-
there like all the time.
okay. Yeah. Alyssa's the other one who got the robot, but she's not here right now. Yeah, we'll see what she finds.
Yeah, I'm curious what she is thinking of doing because it would be nice to add a button, but I feel like the cord might just get tangled too.
Yeah, if we could do wireless or something that doesn't require like an exterior thing. Because he opened up different possibilities that we haven't even considered before, or at least thought were maybe too complex or too expensive. But RC could work, infrared could work. I think that let's just worry about opening it up for now because that's the current problem.
Yeah.
But once we have it open, we can definitely try to figure out what else. Hold on. We could definitely try to brainstorm on that.
I can see in it okay. I just can't really access anything.
Right, but we need to access
Yeah.
it. You probably okay, so there are buttons in the top, I remember, because the green and red, those are buttons, right? Yeah, they are. Okay. Those are buttons, and then the chest is a button. So those are the 2 main areas you have to access. The face isn't that important because that's just a screen.
No. Yeah. And I don't remember from the videos exactly what each of these do. I think maybe these are like different functions to like ABCs and
Yeah.
and
The other
then
one.
are to answer questions that I asked you, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the other one does have batteries. So, and I also just got the batteries for those today. I just need to pick them up. They're in the Union, like in the Amazon area. So I can give you those at some point to figure out the features. In terms of opening it up.
I could be missing a screw somewhere, but
Yeah, definitely check for, if you're not sure, then that's definitely the first thing we always check for.
but I think it would have to be by the wheel because I think it's the wheels that are stopping it from coming apart.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, I guess we'll make note of this in the future. Because normally what we do, we did last semester for those who weren't here, is these sessions would normally last an hour, but we found that those were usually just consist of a lot of kind of dead space where members didn't get a lot done. You're more than welcome to brainstorm on the toy and try to open it up some more outside of the meeting. This is just kind of like a like a work on it during this meeting, and we'll answer any questions that you have and help you if you can. Maybe when I give you batteries, Kylie, I can check that with you. Okay. Hold on. Let me see one more thing. So can everyone who I gave, so there should be like a little yellowish orange screwdriver kit. Can everyone who's here who I gave that to just type that you got it in chat? I'm trying to log who has what toolkits. So those who got like the little yellow, it's about this big screwdriver kit. So then you got one. Cool, let me mark that down.
I have one quick question, Cooper.
Yep.
So the wind up car, does it, I'm trying to get this top part off.
Okay, yeah.
You said you modified it before, so do I just pull this rectangular piece out? That's
Is
where
that,
the wind up
so that's the
is.
one that no longer pulls back?
No, this one does pull back.
Oh, that one we didn't modify. Oh, sorry,
we
that's,
didn't
never
modify.
mind.
Yeah, so right now it pulls back and then it goes. But I was wondering, like, I'm trying to get this top out because that's where the, I think, main wind up mechanism is contained.
Yes.
But do I just try to pull this out? Is that what I have to do?
Okay, it's like a combination of lifting it up and sliding. It takes a little bit of brute force and wedging like a screwdriver in there or something.
Okay.
You kind of got to look at what's stopping it. There should be like a little plastic grip.
Yeah. Okay.
So like,
I'm getting a little bit of it. Like,
yeah, you got to like really look at what you're grabbing. Those windows at the bottom, I think you can also put something through there and push it up. That might be a way to relieve it from there. I think that's a way how we did it. But yeah, it's a matter of lifting it and giving it enough space that it comes out of its little pocket and slides out. Just try not to break it. It's gonna use the amount of force. So just make sure that you know how you're accessing it and how you're
Okay. Okay.
All right. So Kylie, I can meet up with you at some point to give you the batteries and maybe we can figure out that toy. Anyone else, if you have a problem with your toy, that could be solved either through the meetings or we can schedule a meetup time for the lab. I'm just meeting up with Kylie because I need to give her batteries anyway. All right, I'm gonna start the countdown though to get everyone back into the main room. This went pretty well. I hope you guys got a good start today. It was pretty quick. Maybe I'll have to hear how the other groups did, but maybe I'll let it run a little longer next time. We'll see. Do you guys feel like this was a good amount of time or would you like it to be longer next time?
It was a good amount of time.
Yeah, it's decent. Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, so I'll see you guys back in the main room.
You cut me off, Cooper.
I cut you off?
Lexi, were you added to the group me?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, nice, cool. Just wanted to double check that.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just joking, Cooper.
No, no, you're fine, you're fine. Sorry, I'm like doing two things at once. Okay. Thank you guys for coming out. Officers, as usual, stick around and we'll talk for a little bit after the meeting. If anyone has any questions, feel free to stick around and let us know. But yeah, feel free to fill out the feedback survey, especially if maybe you want to leave a word or two about these awesome guest speakers who we've been having recently. But yeah, otherwise, you guys are free to go. So thank you guys for coming out.